who is Alice and why is she in chains?
All right. There's a great story about that. It's a name that Lane and some friends came up with. The myth is, I think him and some buddies when they were really young and they were teenagers, they wanted to have a death metal band that played really heavy music, but they wanted to dress in drag, so they needed a hard word and a soft word. So Alice in Chains is where, I think that's where the initial thing came. People ask that all the time.
Who is Alice and why is she in chains?
Ann B. Davis, Brady Bunch, yeah.
Really?
No.
I'm such a dick.
Not at all.
You had me, Cantrell. I was like, really?
Although we put her on a T-shirt once in the early days. It's, because people were always asking Alice, so we used all sorts of Alices, yeah.
So I just asked a question every douchebag journalist ever asked. But I'm not a journalist. I'm a comic that has a podcast. But how does the name of the band come about?
The legend goes, you mentioned, my band. I grew up in Tacoma and Spanaway, and I lived out a little bit further south of Seattle, and we were all from little parts of outside of Seattle. Most of us were south. Mike was south. He was Burien. I think Sean was Renton. I was Tacoma, and I think Lane was like kind of Bellevue, Kirkland, a little east. But anyway, he had a band called Alice in Chains as well, but it was had the N in there, like Guns N' Roses.
Who's this?
Lane.
Lane. Okay.
Yeah, he had a version of a band.
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains, or whatever. But the name, I think came from before that, and I've never really got the straight answer. But I think the idea was him and a couple of buddies who wanted to put together a speed metal band that dressed in drag. So they needed a hard word and a soft word. So you got the Chains, Alice in Chains. So,
that's cool.
There you go. Yeah.
The dichotomy of the words. Were there ever any runner-up band names that like guys like you or Mike brought to the table? Like, you know what? Maybe we should be called.
Well, we were using my band name just because we needed something to put on the flyer. So there's a couple shows of us being called Diamond Lie. There's a couple shows of us being called. I think we were trying to. We did a couple shows under Fuck for a while, which was great. We had condoms and we cut out little stickers and put them on the condoms. Fuck the band condoms, and so fuck the band. And anyway.
So at one point in Seattle, you could have had a double bill of Fuck and the Farts.
This is true. Yeah.
And then that makes Mud Honey.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. If you're lucky. Yeah, if you're lucky. Yeah.
You obviously.
We ended up using Lane's band. We were like, well, let's just use that. That's a cool name. We'll just put in there, Alice in Chains. That sounds right. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, it sounds good.
You're fighting over a vowel.
It's better than what we got. We couldn't have an N there because Guns N' Roses had it. So
right.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, just the fact that there was pushback with in.
It's got to be
instead
Alice
of the letter
N. It's
N.
got to be Alice in Chains.
There's literally an argument over a letter.
Yeah. It was a discussion. It was a discussion.
Not an argument.
No, it was a discussion.
All right.
Yeah. It was very brief too, by the way.